Final quick run through of the action potential. So at rest, we have ungated potassium channels, which are open. We have the sodium inactivation gate, which is also open, but the activation gate is closed. And we have the potassium gate, which is closed. So right now, the permeability of potassium is higher than the permeability of chloride, which is higher than the permeability of sodium. Second step is when threshold is reached, both sets of activation gates open. However, the sodium activation gate opens much faster than the potassium gate. So now we have the permeability of sodium, which is higher than the permeability of potassium, which is higher than the permeability of chloride, which is not pictured. This is where depolarization occurs, and we jump up to plus 30 millivolts. The third step is where the sodium inactivation gate closes and the potassium gate fully opens. So now we have the potassium permeability is much greater than the permeability of chloride, which is much greater than the permeability of sodium. This is where repolarization back to threshold is occurring. Now the next step in the action potential cycle is during the repolarization back to threshold, the inactivation gate is closed, but then the activation gate for sodium is also closed. So we still have the potassium gate, which is fully open. So now, as we said before, the potassium permeability is much greater than the permeability of chloride, which is much greater than the permeability of sodium. Then, once the membrane potential passes back below threshold, the inactivation gate reopens, as pictured here. The potassium permeability remains relatively high, leading to after hyperpolarization. And we still have permeability of potassium, which is much greater than the permeability of chloride, which is much greater than the permeability of sodium. This is drawn inaccurate, but we'll explain it anyway. The potassium gate gradually closes, so this returns all permeabilities back to their resting potentials because the activation gate for sodium is closed, pictured wrong, and the inactivation gate for sodium is open, which leads to sodium's resting permeability returning to its normal level. The potassium gate, voltage gate, is closed, so potassium returns to its normal levels. And basically the membrane potential is back to the resting membrane potential following after hyperpolarization.